Hello everybody, I'm back with another review, and this time it's for Impact Wrestling. And I promise this time my review for this show will be a lot shorter than my one review for Raw, because that really drug out longer than I let it should have. So, anyways, I didn't take any notes, and label down all the segments and matches in order this time. So I'm just gonna go off what happened on the top of my head. Um, as usual for the past couple months, Impact Wrestling has had some phenomenal matches on the card. Um, they continued with the Bound for Glory series, and they had, let's see here, they had Bully Ray, I believe, go up against Rob Van Dam in a pretty good match. They had the final spot of the match was whenever Rob Van Dam was going for the 5-star frog splash, and then Bully Ray connected with the Bubba Cutter. I don't know, they don't call it the Bully Cutter, it just seems kind of contradictory, but it looked pretty cool. So that's how Bully Ray won that match. So I guess he's like in the final four for the Bound for Glory series participant thing or whatever they're having for No Surrender, to see who's going to advance to face Aries for Bound for Glory. They also had Samoa Joe versus Jeff Hardy in a Bound for Glory series participant match or whatever. And I believe that was the first match of the night, I'm not sure. But it was surprising to me. Jeff beat Joe by submission, and I don't know, call me crazy. I wouldn't really picture Jeff Hardy, a man who's been known as an aerialist for about a decade or so, makes Joe, who is known as a submissionist, tap out. And it was a really weird submission too. Like, he had him in a headlock, and then he scissored his arm or something. And I kind of figured, at least Hardy should have went for a more, convincing looking submission. But Joe taps, and I don't think that was a really logical way to end the match, but oh well. What else? Oh, they had a really great tag team match with let's see, who was it? Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, and they were defending their titles against the team of Chavo, Guerrero, and Hernandez. And it looks like they're trying to build up their tag team division real strongly, just like WWE is. The difference between WWE and TNA is that TNA gives their matches a hell of a lot more time. Because on SmackDown it's not that much of a problem, but Raw, I mean, with the 3 hours it's been improving, but you've really got to pray that you get good time in the matches. Whereas for TNA you don't have to worry about that. And in this particular tag match, there was so much fluidity with the double team moves. Most noticeably with Kazarian and Daniels, they were really great. And at the end, and there were several spots. I could name all of them off, but I'll probably just name the final spot off. Hernandez he was sitting on the second rope, or he was on the top rope actually, and then Chavo went for a Frankensteiner off the top, which had Hernandez flip off of the Frankensteiner that Chavo gave him onto Daniels, I believe, which was pretty cool. I'd never seen that before. And then Kazarian and Daniels won, though. I think Kazarian, or I think it was Daniels, hit Hernandez with the title belt to the stomach, and then Kazarian rolled him up. So that was a really good match. Can't recall if there was another match. There may have been, but I don't want to drag this review out or longer than it needs to be. They had a segment with Joey Ryan coming back, kind of having this little promo with Al Snow, and I guess they're acknowledging Joey Ryan's status with TNA now, that he's actually hired by them. And it looks like Al Snow and Joey Ryan are about to face off at No Surrender. So ever since this whole gut check, rejection. You know, I've kind of been a fan of Joey Ryan. I haven't really paid much attention to him prior to his TNA gut check moment, so I guess you can say I'm a bandwagoner. I don't know, but I mean, all I know is that Joey Ryan's good on the mic, and I haven't seen much of him in the ring, so I can't really judge him completely on a fair basis. But I don't know. I like the guy promo-wise, so I think he'll be a good addition to TNA compared to all the other people that were hired in this whole gut check thing. I think every one of them except for Joey Ryan is just, I don't know. I think they were just hired for their stories, their kind of sob stories, which in real life, you know, it is what it is. But I think pretty much that they were just hired for a good story, you know, with their background. They're furthering this whole Aces and Eights storyline, and like I said, like it is what it is with that as well. You know, I mean, we've seen the whole stable takeover thing numerous times in various promotions, so it's not anything new, but they are carrying it out well. I like that they have the main focus on Austin Aries, which I'm a huge fan of. I've been a fan of his since he came back to TNA. You know, I've seen some old matches of his, and then I've been following him ever since his return. So I'm a huge fan of his, and the reason why I'm rehashing like why I like him and other stars is because, you know, I haven't reviewed anything before this, so I just thought I'd give a little background as to who I like and stuff. So basically, Aries has been the top guy for me. He's been the guy that actually got me to watch TNA again. He was the only reason for a while, and now TNA, I think, honestly carries out a better product than WWE does, and of course they have to, because TNA gets terrible ratings compared to WWE, so they really got to step up their game as much as they can. And I believe iMPACT is very underrated, and they should get more viewers than they do compared to WWE, because WWE, they just love sticking their heads, you know, in just bad comedic segments asses. I mean, it's just like, I mean, we get good wrestling from time to time, but really they flirt a lot with just these celebrity guest host appearances and bad comedic segments. It's just well overplayed and just overdone. I don't know. Anyways, but I think that was pretty much it for iMPACT. I didn't even talk about the ending of the show. For the past couple weeks, the Aces and Eights have been targeting Aries, and they've been making him the main focus to, you know, kind of like take TNA down a peg. And Aries was in one interesting segment. He had like one of the guys that attacked him backstage, and he had like the guy that he had captive was apparently some grip. I think that was the name of his occupation or whatever, which means like he deals with tools or something like that. Then Aries was tying in the guy's profession of tools into the promo. He's like, and he brings out a pair of pliers, and he's like, "Oh, you're good with tools or whatever," and then he like takes the pair of pliers and like jams it down his mouth and is like trying to grip his tongue. And I was like, that's pretty. I mean, I'm pretty sure he didn't do anything in real life, but I mean, just to see that visual, it's kind of edgy. So I kind of liked it. It was pretty cool. But after that, some big, huge dude who broke Aries' hand. Aries' hand about a week or two ago, like showed up, and then he was like trying to attack Aries, and they were having a brawl at the end. So I guess Aries is going to face this pretty much faceless, nameless guy of the Aces and Eights stable at No Surrender, which I don't know if that's going to be main event quality. I mean, Aries is the top guy in TNA now because he's the champion, so one would assume that he would be the main event guy, because unlike WWE, and sorry for my constant bashing WWE, but TNA does put their World Heavyweight Champion in the main event. And I know, like, it's different with WWE because of certain draws and, you know, who has more star power and stuff with who gets to be in the main event. But I just believe, I'm kind of an old-fashioned guy, you know, I would like to have the champion be in the main events at least part of the time, which, you know, CM Punk gets screwed over time and time again for the main event. You know, that's probably a different story for a different day. I don't want to continue to rabble on. But anyways, so, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm going to watch No Surrender, but we'll see what happens, you know, because TNA is on a roll for the most part. So, anyways. But, okay, I believe that's my review. If I left anything out for you TNA fans who might be watching this, I don't know. I apologize, but I don't know if I'll stay consistent with my reviews for TNA, SmackDown, or Raw or not. Just maybe for special episodes, I'm not sure. Well, anyways, thanks for watching, people, and have a good day.